Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Congrats on first, Mav. Welcome in. We're drawing tonight. We're doing a little drawing stream. I've got my fantastic little drawing hat on. It does this, so that's pretty cool. It makes me feel very inspired. So we're drawing some Sky Kids tonight. I'm kind of rusty on drawing. I like drawing, but I've never been super great at it. But, you know, I've got this tablet that I spent a little bit of money on, so might as well use it, even if the end result isn't super great. That's how you get to even better results in the future. So we're doodling some skids. I don't know human anatomy. I should. I took human anatomy and physiology in college, but, you know, that doesn't translate to drawing necessarily. But how we all doing tonight? Mav, I enjoyed your stream. Did you have some good nom-noms afterwards? I know you were kinda a little famished. A little hungry. What'd you have? You had butter. Incredible. I love to hear it. Okay. I'm kind of doing this from memory. I'm not very good at remembering what the hair looks like, and this is all on one layer, which I'm probably going to regret later, but we ball. I do this on paper all the time. What's the difference? Just get good. Okay, there's usually like a tie right there for the moth hairstyle, so it's like blah, 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 blah. It's fine. It's a first draft anyways. I'll probably publish the first draft with a whole bunch of layers on top of it. You had some leftover Frito pie. Art stream. Yes, welcome in, Sophie. How you doing today? I haven't done art in a while. I mean, I did just do art stream about 2 or so weeks ago. I painted the vision that I had of a man-made object according to the Lemon Demon stream. I'm doing like a little Lemon Demon art series. So far we've done man-made object and spiral of ants. But tonight we're drawing some Sky Kids, maybe some Wayfarers. Might draw some friendos, we'll see. But we're chicken painting. This is Chicken Smoothie. It's an online pet collection website. And I also like it for the art community and the role-playing people, and it's like niche old internet. It's like a time capsule. This website has my heart. I spent a lot of time on this website growing up. So I'm very familiar with this art program. Doing great, heading to bed, but you saw art stream, you had to stop by. Take care of yourself. If you need to head to bed, no worries, but if you want to go lurkies and maybe fall asleep here, I don't judge. I totally get it. Samesies. I don't know what their hair looks like, and I'm doing it from memory. Sky Moth. I feel like I looked this up a lot just to get a visual reference. Because, oh, what is this? What is this? Okay, it's kind of angular. It gives lapis lazuli, you know? But it makes my artist brain kind of hurt a little bit. It makes a very distinctive silhouette though. I'm gonna add some floofies at the bottom, because that's how I roll. Yeah. And then, yep, the little floof at top. It's like a mix of lapis and peridot hair. If you can't tell, Steven Universe was like a formative experience for me. We see them so much around us. We know how they look like and we don't at the same time. Yeah, you think you know what something looks like until you go to draw it, and then it's like, suddenly I need 1,000 references because, like, it's like I've never seen the object before. It's like, huh? Okay. And then we can take this and... Actually, we want the softer eraser because I don't want to get rid of everything completely just yet. There we go. Haha, that looks so terrible. That's okay. That's what the drafts are for. Trust the process, guys. Okay, it's like a little too far down. Okay, it's more like there we go. That makes a little more sense visually. Can you tell I'm not a formally trained artist, that I just kind of do this on the weekends sometimes for funsies? That's okay. I like being a hobbyist artist. It's fun. This piece is very jazzy. Also, guys, let me know if I need to turn up the music at all. I can do that. Or turn it down. Ah! The moth is coming out. It is shaping up. That is one small neck, but this is a very wide neck. It makes the moth look very masculine. I think that's probably a good middle ground. You have to watch Steven Universe. You do. A friend told you, you remind her, I remind her of Pearl. You know, take that as a compliment if you want to. I think Pearl's one of my favorite characters. I think she is incredibly complex and super understandable, and like, I think people give her a lot of flack without realizing they'd probably do the same or worse in her situation. Like, this girl has gone through it. I love Pearl. I see myself in her quite a lot. Pardon me, guys. Holy moly. Although if I were to like align myself with a gem, I feel like Peridot is the one that I feel like I feel like Peridot a lot. That's probably just the autism speaking, but oops. Pearl is great, yes. She's so elegant, and I love her weapon, and I love all of her fusions. Like, she just brings a great flavor to the table. Your friend recognizes herself in Amethyst. Yes, Amethyst has huge youngest sibling energy. I feel her insecurity. I really do. Like, all of the characters are just giant woman. Opal's my favorite fusion, guys. But like, all of the gems are just so fascinating and so interesting and well written, and I love them all for their own reasons. And it was also, you know, like the only queer media I had growing up. And, you know, at the time, I was raised pretty, you know, fundamental Christian. So I kind of looked on at that topic with scorn when I was younger. I should not have filled in the eyes. Now I look ominous. Ominous moth. Scary moth. It's like, it's doing this. Pew, 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 pew. But, so when I finally saw Steven Universe and I saw myself in all the characters, I went, oh my gosh, whoopsie, we have uncovered something about ourselves we're really not gonna like. Turns out we really do like that about ourselves, but it took a long time to accept it. I just dropped my controller on the floor. But yes, I would recommend Steven Universe. It's surrounded by a lot of discourse, at least within the fandom, but I think that's just because, you know, queer people don't get a lot of representation, so we kind of tend to fight about what we do get because, you know, it's not a lot, and there's so many ways to do it. Anyways, but yeah, watch Steven Universe if you ever get a chance to, and if you don't want to, that's totally fine. This is like a moth, but I've been told that I have kind of a scribbly, like, horror-like art style. I've been told I'm similar to Junji Ito. Yes, the Lars of the Star spinoff. I still need to watch all the way through Steven Universe Future. I don't have, like, any streaming services that have Steven Universe, so I'm a little in the dark as to what happens after the movie. But yeah, I've been told I'm a little like Junji Ito. I have like a very fun-loving, pure, you know, I like to joke around and have fun, but then my art looks like, oh my gosh, are you mentally well? Little Nightmares type X Sky when literally I'm waiting for a collab. Speaking of which, I've still not played Little Nightmares. I watched a playthrough of it. I think it was like Dan and Phil that played through it when I was a youth. A long, long time ago. But it still has a tender... Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I just... Yeah. You've got like a middle part, and then I'll give your hair a little bit of volume to balance that out. No, I don't like that. It looks too much like a pompadour. Okay. Guys, angles. What are angles? What is happening here? This is a mess. Okay. And I'm using like the actual back button instead of just Control-Zing because I love making things difficult for myself. You can't do scary games, but you love watching people play them. I like playing them, I just also find I'm a little incompetent and the in-game hints tend to get lost on me, so I get more confused than scared. It's a problem, but you know. I've considered doing like a series that's like local man plays video games even though he's a scaredy cat. Because I played Journey for the first time earlier today, and that was an experience, not for the first time, but for the first time in a long time, and I've forgotten everything since I initially played the game in like 2014. Anyways, that was a lot of words. I feel like I'm talking a little fast. Sorry about that. I gotta talk fast to keep up with my thoughts. They go zoom. Okay, they've got like a little cowl thing happening. But it like... Okay. You also talk fast, you're used to it. Awesome, I'm glad. I feel like I talk really fast, and I get a little insecure about it, but I'm glad that I am understandable and coherent. Alright, cowl. Eraser. Sound effect time. Also, chat, if anyone ever, if anyone here is also an artist and ever wants to do, like, an art trade or something, please. I cannot afford to commission people, but I would love to trade art. I don't know if I'm necessarily good enough for a professional art trade, but I think that, you know, I won't get there without practice. So here we are. I think it'd be funny to add, like, the tip of the Sky Kid's hair right now looks a little bit like a wick. Like, maybe I should just make a little piece of candle wax right here. Liar, liar, Sky Kid on fire. Okay. We won't keep that, but that was fun. Mav, anyone can develop the skill of art. It might end up looking like you made it, but there's no wrong way to do it. Aside from just not doing it. but I'd rather make bad art than no art. You just have no patience. That's fair. I could probably learn some shortcuts to make this so much easier. Like, I could totally use Control Z and stuff. Oh, you got Where Winds Meet yesterday? I'm so glad to hear that. Are you enjoying it? Since you wanted to try the voice to character thing, what'd you end up with? Did it look cool? I bet it looked cool. You are too perfectionist. Literally, I understand. Haha, that doesn't suddenly look horrifying or anything. Guys, where was I during Inktober? I would rock like the horror prompts, I think. Just by leaving my work unfinished. I feel like I am Bendy in the ink machine. They call me the ink machine. Whoops. Back to black. Back in black. I hit the side. There we go. This is right here is not satisfying to me. I don't know what's happening there, but it's bothering me. Maybe I should leave it and come back later after I've dealt with the rest of this moth. Because we still got some work to do. Like this cape. Cape. You finished downloading the game, but it's too late to start now. If you do, you'll stop when the sunlights are peaking. And homie, I had to pry myself away last night to go to bed because I desperately was I was having a lot of fun. My friend Corey and I were playing, but I'm not very good at combat games, so I got stuck on a very easy fight with like tutorial level stuff. So I had to call it a night and let my brain process it a little bit, and we'll see how it is next time I stream it, because I do think I want to keep streaming it. The customer characterization, wow. The character customization is incredible. I love the aesthetic. Wuxia is a very fun, interesting genre. Admittedly, one that I don't know a lot about, but you know, the UI is a lot like Genshin and Wuwa and Honkai and Infinity Nikki, which are all games that I love and have spent far too much time and money on. So, you know, I'm pretty excited to play more Where Winds Meet. And I am excited to see what you think of it as well. I know there's a co-op mode. If anyone ever wants to collab, hit me up. I'd love to play with you guys. I don't know how cape work. How fabric? I'm having a hard time envisioning this in my head. Okay. The cloth wraps around. I feel like this moth is starting to look a little like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there! You know nothing about this genre, so it's nice to discover something new. I love open world RPGs. I'm so weak to them. I like to explore and run around and pick things up, and there's quests that I like to sit there and ignore because I should be doing them, but there's things to collect and NPCs to talk to. You know? Oh, I've got the sniffles, guys. Ugh. Yucky. I'm probably... If I flip this canvas, am I going to crash out? It's not terrible. That's not too bad. It mirrors nicely. Okay. Okay. We can work with this. How does it look upside down, though? I am drawing on a curved monitor right now, so, like, I tend to make the proportions all wonky, and then I'll look at it on my flat monitor after the fact and go, ew, I made that? Ew. Your favorite game is still Breath of the Wild, so you perfectly understand. Ironically, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are two of my least favorite games in the Zelda franchise. Not that I'm saying they're bad games, because they most certainly are not. I think they're fantastic games. They don't feel like Zelda to me, which is, I know, a common complaint. But I think they're great games as like their own thing. And I do like how it does tie back into Zelda lore. I don't like technology in my Zelda, guys. It freaks me out a little bit. Okay, I need to get closer because I'm nearsighted. I cannot say. Yeah, exactly. They're a little too non-linear for my liking. Not that I like that games that hold my hand, but it's you can go anywhere, and it's so overwhelming that it's like I can go anywhere, so I don't know where to go. You didn't enjoy Tears of the Kingdom, sadly. Yeah. It was a good game, in my opinion, just once again, it didn't feel like Zelda. I also haven't played many hours of either of the games, and I haven't beaten either of them for myself. Which I probably should, but I don't know. I definitely don't have to, but I think it would be fun, maybe, to play some Switch games on stream sometime. I could show you guys my Animal Crossing island, and we could... What other games do I have on Switch that I enjoy? I mean, I could play Zelda for you guys. I hope that wouldn't, like, get me copyright stricken. I know that Nintendo can be a little touchy about their gameplay being uploaded. They were your first Zelda. I didn't catch that at first. That's pretty cool. My first Zelda was Ocarina of Time, but I played a lot of Zelda games in pretty close succession. I also was introduced to Zelda through Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. And those are like three of... I think that the GameCube era of Zelda is top tier. Some of my favorite games, definitely my favorite 3D games. This Sky Kid is looks maxing. Nice. Breath of the Wild was your comfort game before discovering Sky. You think you have something like 3,000 hours on it? The fact that it wasn't linear for you was great. Exploring and wandering were amazing moments. Heck yeah. That's why I love Genshin so much. Like I said, I don't like it in my Zelda, but I love it as a game, you know? Probably should have been released under its own title, but hey. It offers something to a different audience, and I'm glad that, Zelda is being given a chance by other people who maybe wouldn't otherwise check out Zelda. That's pretty cool. I'm really glad that, you know, other people can get into the franchise because the title did something a little unconventional. Maybe it'll lead you to play some of the games that I've mentioned, like Ocarina of Time. That one's a cult classic fan favorite alongside Majora's Mask. I personally would recommend Twilight Princess. It's like Ocarina of Time, but like a gritty mid-2000s realistic remake with way too much bloom effect. I love it. Also, turning into a wolf. You can turn into a wolf in Twilight Princess. And that gimmick, I was wolf girl growing up. I loved wolves. I played werewolves on the playground. So you can imagine, that was like my favorite that was my favorite Zelda game for quite a while. Okay. That's fair. Probably if it wasn't called Zelda, you would have enjoyed it more. Yes, probably. It is a great game, just doesn't feel Zelda. But you're glad it was Zelda franchise. And dude, the soundtrack is stunning. I will fully agree with you there. And I love hearing the motifs from other games. The orchestra did a phenomenal job. Yeah. Zelda has always had a great soundtrack in every single game. They do banger after banger after banger. They never miss. Okay, this resembles a moth somewhat. In 2017, they didn't win the best soundtrack at the Game Awards. I do remember this happening. I forget what won that year, but I remember a lot of people were pissed. They were not happy about Zelda's loss. Oh, guys, I understand it. The perspective suddenly shifted. I'm having a artist moment. They lost against Nier Automata. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never heard it spoken out loud. I mean, I have, but I have promptly forgotten the pronunciation because... get out of here, you stinky bot that is trying to sell me things. I already had someone else try to, like, proposition me for business today because people love to scam through Twitch. It made me pretty upset. Not that upset, it just, you know, it made me disappointed that humans have to resort to such things to make a living. We shouldn't be, you know, scamming each other, and it also has the best soundtrack you ever heard. Huge agree. Okay, I don't know how, like, clothing folds work. How is wrinkles? I'm sure if I just make a bunch of random lines that somewhat make sense in my little brain, you know, I think I'll be able to somewhat emulate shirt wrinkles, rankles, shoulder. So baby, pull me closer in the backseat of your Rover. Something, 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 bite that tattoo on your shoulder. Pull the sheets right off the mattress. Wait. That you stole from your roommate back in Boulder. We ain't ever getting older. Am I showing my age here? That was popular when I was in like middle school. Ugh. Ironically, I hated those songs when they were like on the radio, but now they invoke a strong sense of nostalgia in me, which is like, huh? Ew. Ew. No. Okay, I want the cowl to go over the shoulder, like so. And then I want there to be like a sleeve here, like a little capelet sleeve. Like all the songs we heard ad nauseum when they were popular, I get. Yes. Literally. Now that they're like old, it's crazy that I like them. Back when they were on the radio, I was like, ew, they're repetitive and bored. I was such an elitist about my music when I was younger. I was so determined to like not be like other people. But like as I've gotten older, I've come to the realization that like popular music, yes, maybe it's propagated by the machine, but the machine knows what people like. It gets good for a reason. It gets popular for a reason, and that's because it's fun to listen to. They got better like fine wine. Just like the soundtrack to Frozen, Let It Go. Genuinely a good song, just what happened in 2013, guys? That was wild. Oh my gosh. I love anatomy and perspective. This is all sunshine and flowers. We're having a great time. You're still scarred. You think you need another decade to appreciate that song? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It was a lot. Wow, that is one heck of a long... This elbow is too far down. Okay, let's try this again. Ignore the glaring bald spot in my line work right now. It will not be fixed later, but you know, just ignore it. What is happening? It's fine. We can pretend we know what's happening here. Sky Kid arm is happening. To hold candle. And then on the final draft, I kind of want there to be like a transparent, opaque candle over the chest light so that there's like kind of a burst of light coming from there. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but that's the vision. Let me readjust. You go sleep because you're not able to lurk as a normal person. You do be yapping, but that is okay because I be yapping too. I hope you have a good sleepies. Get some rest. Thanks for stopping in. It's been super fun to have you. Alright, we're gonna want to leave just a little bit of contrast here so that we can make out the little evil plant ball. The dark plant, because I want there to be like dark plants in the foreground. This was supposed to be me drawing like a bunch of Sky Kids. Nice to see you again too, Sophie. I hope you have a wonderful sleep. Thank you again for stopping in. We doing art. Art, 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 art. Art, 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 art. Art, 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 art. Art, 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 art. Art, 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 art. Guys. Freddy Five Bears? Oh, I know. I can hide this monstrosity of arm anatomy behind the evil plant. I am... Huge brain moment. We are so back, baby. All right. Do you guys like my insane scribbling instead of any kind of coherent, like, usage of tools? You know, quality of life things that'll make drawing not tedious? Couldn't beat me, though. I freaking enjoy scribbling like a maniac. Oh, I lost so much progress just by not stopping when I was ahead. Okay. A little bit of hashing here. Nothing too crazy. And then in the background here, I want to have like, I want it to kind of be like Golden Wasteland, so I want it to be kind of jagged. I'm so great at backgrounds, by the way. Brr. Alright, so we've got the jagged wasteland with like some debris, some broken architecture. And then off yonder here, I want there to be one of these. Wait, hold on. What do these things actually look like? I try to avoid dark dragons so much, so I don't actually... I'm not very good at knowing what these guys look like. Sky. Oh, my keyboard needs to relink. Oh, and then maybe I can put some of my Sky Kid friends in the background here, like Caustic Steel and Ivy and Flowers and Smiles and Mav. That might be a lot. That might be a little ambitious, but I could have like the friends flying around the krill here. Are you seeing what you guys picking up what I'm putting down here? Alright, and then there's... Okay, what the krill look like? My keyboard still need to relink. Krill. They're kind of heartless coded, not gonna lie. Okay. So yep, they've got like these forceps. And then they got these antennae. They remind me a lot of ants. And they are all spiky like. Very, very spiky. So I can take a little bit of creative liberty here. Spiky, 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 spiky. Spiky, 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 spiky. Spiky, 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 spike. And it kind of tapers off to an end after a lot of segments. Kind of like a centipede, I suppose. And it has many, many, many legs. I feel like I need to fill in its body a little more. It should be a bit bigger. That might be a bit too much. But it feels like this should be the head. Maybe I should just... Okay, the red goes underneath so that I can draw these pincers. I want some of the black to still be visible underneath. Okay. This is not translating very well as I want it to onto the paper. But we'll get it. We'll get it. I feel like I need to make this silhouette a little more stark. Maybe adding some white here to outline the... Okay. Maybe we worry about the outlining later. Let's get our basic colors down first. Then we can worry about it. Alright, big chunky, big chunky. Make those backs, that back roll. Alright. This is going so well. Why do they have such a, They have a design for sure. Maybe I should make the background a different color so I can see what's happening with my line work. Let's go with green, since Golden Wasteland is kind of greenish. This actually looks nice for the background. Maybe I can make this a, let's do a gradient of, like, this color. Or something similar. Yeah, that works. And then we'll make it this kind of nasty yellow color. That's good. And then we'll kind of... Whoosh. No. Hold on. Yeah. Awesome. Back to this nonsense. We're adding more layers, which this is inevitably going to get more complicated as we go on, so I'm going to have to stay... Ah ha ha ha! No, no, no. I'm going to have to stay on my toes as we do this. I always like when this song comes on. This one's like, I like it. Guys, adding line work makes things look so much more defined. Oh my gosh, it's starting to come out. I'm starting to, like, see it. Like, that's a krill. Gorilla. Okay. Whoopsies. Alright, I know these lines aren't making sense, but that's okay, because they're not supposed to be, like, anatomically correct. It's kind of an impressionistic, you know, we're going with more, like, how it feels to look at a krill, rather than what does a krill actually look like. And to me, krills feel like very menacing scribbles. Now I'm gonna come in here and do a little cleaning up so that it's not too messy. A little messy, but not too messy. Okay, back to coloring these plants and feeling a little insane. No. Okay. Doodle, 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 doodle. Scribble, 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 scribble. And then there's this, like, kind of light blue color that happens in the plants. You know what I'm saying? Are you guys seeing the vision here? Okay. And now that I have that added to my color palette, I don't have to worry about losing it unless I accidentally delete it in a moment of lack of clarity. And then I'll need to add some white, I think, in here to just really add that extra layer. Yeah. I'm thinking, guys. I'm sorry I haven't been like speaking much. I'm kind of like in a flow state here. We're drawing. We're feeling pretty good about drawing. But I was thinking this website that I'm on, Chicken Smoothie, it is a pet collection website. And I'm thinking, man, Sky and Chicken Smoothie collab when? Add like cool sunback or like other popular chicken smoothie themed pet cosmetics to the game, and then there's like a litter for the in-game litter for that are based off of like moths and some of the spirits. I think that'd be pretty cool in my little, specifically in my little niche of the internet. I'm not sure how many other people would be into that, but as a Chicken Smoothie and Sky player, I'd be down. They both have very active art communities, so I could kind of see it happening. Whoops. Yoink. There we go. Hello, Hazy Haven. Welcome in, Raiders. How are we all doing today? Thank you for the raid. Here for all the chill vibes and coffee. I love it. I could go for some coffee right now. How are we doing today, Raiders? Today we're doing a little drawing stream. Hi, Mama Sky. Good to see you again. I'm not like a professionally trained artist or anything. That's pretty obvious. I'm just a guy with a computer and a vision. So I'm messing around. We're making stuff happen. We're doodling. Maybe I should have gone to art school. Mama Sky suggested me. Oh, that's so sweet. She is such a gem. I love Mama Sky. My stream is going well. Also, if you need to, if you need to go lurk, take care of yourself, if you need to head out, no worries. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you're doing well. But I'm doing some like insane 3-layer type stuff. You're going to lurk. You're completing your assignment. Have a great stream. Thank you. Thank you so much for lurking and for suggesting me. That means so much. Thank you. But yeah, we're just having some chill vibes, and I hope you guys I hope you like chill hop beats and nonsense being rambled directly, like you are just getting an unfiltered stream of consciousness from me. Except for when I lock in really hard on the art stuff. In which case, sorry, I might go a little quiet. But enjoy the music when that happens. There's also, like, when we're burning the plants, there's, like, these little orangey, they're pretty dark orange golden bits that kind of show up. They're a little more sparse, but they are there, so I'm gonna see if I can't also emulate that effect here of the burning the plant. You sadly have to raid and run. Gonna go eat something. That's alright. I hope you have an amazing rest of your night or day or time zone, whatever. Get some rest. Take care of yourself. Thank you again so much for the raid. I genuinely appreciate it so much. And welcome in, raiders, once again. Okay, I think this is doing... Thank you for the follow, Hazy. I appreciate it. I enjoy lurking in your streams sometimes. I don't know if you're still here or not, but... I'm a lurker. Okay. Oh no, my orange color that I worked so hard to get. I forgot to add it to my swatch, and now it's gonna look... I'm gonna have, like, 2 different colors happening, and it's gonna look weird. Unless... Take care, you too. Gotta adjust in my chair yet again. I keep sitting crisscross applesauce, which I know is probably not the best position to be sitting in a desk chair, but I get a little restless pretty easily. My knees tend to hurt if I let them stretch out, or if I don't shrimp hard enough. Okay, let's get back to coloring in this dark plant so we can add a little more depth to this. Scribble, scribble, scribble. People who love Control Z and such hate to see me coming, guys. People who like using convenient shortcuts, they see me on my way and they go, "Aw, man, not this guy again. He's gonna be here for like 5 hours scribbling in the same spot, and it's gonna look pretty cool and unique and bomb when he's done, but oh man, it's gonna take forever." Okay, my brush size is 1, so I could probably stand to increase it a couple, and I probably won't notice in the end product. And if I do, it's because I'm looking at it too closely, like when I get in the mirror to pick at my face for a while. You guys you know what I'm talking about, where you like look at your face too much and you see like the smallest pore or speck and you go, "What is that?" And then you pick it into oblivion and then there's a giant red spot on your face. I haven't dealt with that since I was a teenager, but it truly is an experience. Okay, I can increase the brush size. Nobody will yell at me if I do that. That's covering so much more ground so much quicker. But it's like kind of ruining the scribble effect, which is, you know, hopefully by the end of this I'll have more consistent coloring. All right. Blue. Why does it sound like that? My stylus is like scraping against my drawing tablet. It's ugh. I'm having an autism moment, guys. I do not. It's a bad sound. Maybe it's time to replace the tip on this stylus. That is a very strong possibility. I've had this tablet for like 2 years. Doodle doodle doodle. Doodle 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 doodle. Okay. Do you guys like my sound effects? Do not ask me where the light source is, because I cannot tell you. We are shading solely on vibes. We said, we ball. Okay, I really need to just fill in this and get it over with. I'm sort of avoiding this spot because, like, it looks tedious to fill in. I can do this, though. This will help. I just don't want to get rid of, you know, this stuff down here that I worked so hard to get, but I don't mind layering back up. It ain't that big a deal. We chillin'. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, and little ball thing. Perfect. Alright, back down to brush size 1 so we can fix the mess we've just made in the name of artistic inspiration. Artistic pursuit. That rendering right there looks a little scuffed, but that's okay. Surely if we add even more noise to the mess, it won't be noticeable anymore. Oops. I also need to add, there's like a darker blue hue that is also present in these plants that I cannot forget about. I probably should have done that a little sooner because that was like, it's part of the base layer of the plants. It goes underneath the, I don't know how I feel about that. Blue. Maybe it should be just a different monochromatic scale. No, it should still be bluer. Like that. Yes, good. No! My blue! I hit the wrong button and now I am full of regret. Is this like chicken scratch but with paint? Pretty much. Chicken paint is actually it's a oikaki drawing tool on the website Chicken Smoothie. It's a pet collecting simulator, but it also has art forums and a very active art community. And I spend a lot of time on this website, and we're drawing tonight. I just have a very fun, literally insane style where I like having as few layers as possible, and I like to torture myself by doing this. It does work like a fairly decent drawing tool. Oh, thank you, Mav. I will hydrate. Moisturize me. You weren't sure what the title meant. You can't draw or paint. Yeah, it's just like a little. I'm using chicken paint, so I'm chicken painting some Sky Kids. You can't draw or paint? Well, I feel like I hear that a lot, but if you can pick up a pencil, then you can draw. It looks cool, thank you. There's a lot of texture happening here. Just the way I like it. Whoops. Sorry, textures. You can pick up a pen. Dude, my handwriting is also absolute garbage, so like, I get it. And I cannot draw myself a better handwriting. My handwriting sucks no matter how much I focus on it, and that is just a fact of life that I've come to realize. I don't mind. But, you know, even if you can't write well, you can learn to draw. It might not look how you want it to, it'll probably end up looking like you made it. And if you look at something that you've made for long enough, it starts to look kind of bad. But I promise you, whoever's like in the audience, they'll probably find a way to appreciate it. I know that what I'm doing isn't like the most technically, you know, I don't have a lot of prowess there. I'm just kind of messing around and making it, I'm trusting the process and hoping it looks good at the end. I'm not sure how well we're gonna do there, but we're trying. We're not going for like a very realistic look either. I'm trying to kind of be pretty impressionistic here. You know, it's like how the game makes me feel rather than what it actually looks like. So that's, you know. It's bird o'clock. Now let's get under this bad, but actually let's add a little bit more blue right here. And some white. Just to add some definition to this plant. I hope that's how it comes across, that this is a dark plant that is getting burned. That's what I'm going for. There we go. Yeah. Alright. I don't remember what colors moths are. You learn to read and write before kindergarten, but then in 2nd or 3rd grade they made us do cursive for years in school. Hey, same hat! Then back to plain writing. Your handwriting suffered, randomly going between the two ever since. Your handwrite... Hey, friend, by chance, have you ever looked into a symptom called dysgraphia? It's like the difficulty with, specifically with writing, and making it look nice. Like, you're not, you know, it's not like you don't know what's going on with the writing, you just don't write good. I've got it. I also suffered the same fate. I started reading and writing pretty early, but I always struggled with holding a pen or a pencil, and they'd make me use like these little rubber grip things, so that you'd hold your pencil correctly, because I used to hold it like this. And I would just write with whatever hand felt comfy at the moment. I was just naturally like kind of ambidextrous, but they were like, no, you need to use your right hand, and you need to use your little stupid rubber gripper, and you need to hold it like this. And I hated it. They tried to get me to hold my pen and pencil right for years. And then after the cursive thing, I finally had graduated from needing assistance with holding my pen and pencil at that point. But I learned cursive. Oh, are you also a little dyslexic? That makes sense. I have the number version of dyslexia. I have dyscalculia. So basically, I'm really good with reading and words. I can like pretty easily like feel the shape of the word in my brain, if that makes any sense. But with numbers, I can't do the same thing. Like the shapes get all jumbled up, and I can't calculate what the end result is supposed to be like I can with words. But those are all dysgraphia, dyscalculia, and dyslexia. These are all pretty similar part of the brain. It's usually associated with ADHD and autism. It's fun. You know how to spell, but then to write it wrong sometimes. Exactly. I get it. Okay, it's got moths, of course, have white hair. They have a little blue and brown thingy thing. It's just the shade of brown I'm trying to get here. Okay. So for the cape, we're gonna want this kind of darkish brown. It's kind of dusty looking. Right, and we're gonna want it to be on the layer underneath. Just to make sure we're not, you know, losing too much of our progress here. Although I probably will be on this top layer again at some point for more finishing touches and such. Guys, I do not need to have brush size 0.0. Now we're cooking with gas. And we don't have to be precise. It is fine. We can fix things later. It is digital art. Luckily, I've never struggled with spelling, like, in the classroom. I was actually a spelling bee kid. I went to spelling bees, I think 3 or 4 years in a row. That was like a lot of my middle school academic success was in spelling bees. And then I ended up failing English many times in high school just because I didn't like to write my essays. I didn't, well, specifically I wrote my essays, but they don't like it when you don't have an outline, a first draft, a second draft, a peer review, and then a final draft. I was just like, we do one draft, one layer, we fix things as we go, and then we cite our sources at the end. Smiley face. And I brought a very careless research vibe to the function that my teacher did not appreciate. None of my teachers. Alright. Wah 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 wah. Get colored in. Nice. I already have that color. Okay. On my swatch. I thought I added it, but I wanted to be sure before I go and change colors. Color matching who? You don't know if they still do this, but they used to make you break apart sentences and label words as nouns, pronouns, verbs. Yeah, the syntax and stuff, I love that. That was always my favorite part. Yeah, language comes very easily to me, but I know it's not the same for other people. You were always bad at that. I can see how it's confusing, but I was really lucky to have teachers that were really good at explaining it. You're older, so when you were in school, you didn't have to do all the things I just described for writing. You would turn in scraps of paper taped together because you'd write the whole thing and reorganize the paragraphs. You had a great English teacher, though. She loved it. Well, I shouldn't bash on my English teachers too much because, as people, they loved me. And I loved them. They were wonderful influences, and they're the reason I love writing to this day. But, as teachers, they had to follow a standardized curriculum, and I was not built for standardized school. Like, standardized testing, sure. Standardized school, no. I'm not meant for the classroom, but I am meant for learning, if that makes any sense. So I'd often turn in essays that my teachers were like, yes, this is good, this is quality, you should be, like, in a college class or something doing this, but also you don't do it how we need you to do it, and you also turn it in, like, 5 weeks late, and that's not cool. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's not cool, but I can't pay attention long enough to... Oh, we love being unmedicated with ADHD at a young age. By the time I got through high school, we figured out what the problem was, and I was medicated, and that semester I got on the honor roll, so, School's just not built for everybody, and not everybody's built for school. Okay. What is that skin color on? I always struggle to, like, place it. It's kind of like a cooler tone. No, it's got warm undertones. What am I saying? I'm goofing. I'm straight goofing. Okay. I could just give my Sky Kid whatever color I want their skin to be. There is no rule saying I have to make them biblically accurate. Oh, no, no, no. You confused your kindergarten teacher when she found out you didn't know what the alphabet was but could read and... Homie, I had literally the same experience, because I was able to read and write, but what is A, B, C, D, E, F, G? Nuh-uh. Alright, I think I like this as a skin color. It fits well with the background and the cape and such. I was going to go for an orange, but it seems the purple is much better suited for this background. We love color theory. I don't know anything about color theory in practice, but I know it exists. You just knew the words. She had the principal come, watch you read and write, and ask you questions. Did we have the same childhood? It's like, hey, your kid knows how to read and write, but doesn't know basic things like how to tie his shoes or read an analog clock. He's a little slow on those things, but by God, he can read at a college level. This is not red enough. But I also don't want it to look like too red because of the greened out background. You know what I'm saying? How's this? Much better. Yes. Yes. Red candle. I thought I locked alpha, but this is fine. We can make this work. Oh, I did. Okay. Unlock alpha. There we go. And a little wiki wick. You were tying your shoelaces before school too. No, I was a chronic Velcro wearer. They were like, hey man, we might have to put you in special ed if you don't like learn how to do basic tasks. Like, you excel in the classroom and on your tests and stuff, but you suck at like the, you know, doing things on time and doing them how you're expected to part. You got real strange roundabout ways of finding how to do things. Yeah. Okay, this should be a little brighter. There we go. And then the cowl is a bit brighter. A little closer to like the hair color on the moth. Actually, I think I might be able to just yoink. It works. I will take it. When your daughter was little, you struggled to find shoes with laces for kids. For some reason, they were all Velcro then. She didn't learn to tie shoes for a while. Yeah, I think a lot of my problem with tying shoes did come from like lack of availability. You know, this was the mid 2000s, early to mid 2000s. Velcro was the in. It was hot. If you didn't have Velcro, you were not. So I had a lot of like, I had like light up Skechers that had Velcro. They were super cool, but it did put me a little behind. I didn't learn how to tie my shoes until like 4th grade, which is embarrassing, but you know, it is what it is. Scribble, 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 scribble. Not yours fault. Shoemaker's fault. Exactly. If it had been an option that was more available to like my parents, they probably would have gotten me like actual shoes that tied, but my feet needed to get a little bigger until that happened, and I was a pretty small kid. Okay. There we go. Don't mind me just using my mouse here real quick. Alright, and then we'll need like we'll lock this transparency, make this probably a deeper red down here. We'll lower this. Local man guesses as to what fire actually looks like. Okay. And then we do the magic. Pachow! And we add a little line work just to make it defined a little bit. Time for sleep. Good night, y'all. Alright, good night, Jamira. Thank you for stopping in. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a good day. Have good sleeps. Okay, and we'll lower the transparency on this. Okay, cool. That doesn't look horrible. It doesn't look terrible. Could look better, but I'm not sure how to go about the effect that I want quite yet. I can always come back and redraw this piece another time, too. This was initially meant to be, like, just, like, a little tiny sketch, and it has turned into this, I was going to be like drawing my friend Sky Kids and stuff. I'm not sure how it came to this. My vision fogged over, and all of a sudden I was deep in the trenches of making art. Okay, we'll put this down here. And time to color in even more. Let's make this a kind of nasty green color to contrast. It'll be like greenish, orangish. Hopefully that'll look good with this color palette. Maybe I need it a little more in the orange side. Maybe a bit brighter too. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, we can work with that. Let's also get in this line work and clean it up a little bit right in here. Alright. That's a little bit better. Now we can focus on filling in the silhouette and then adding some more definition if we so desire. We'll see. Okay, down here. Take the pencil, make it a bit bigger, and go ham. Oh, I need to bring this back up. That would help. Yeah, there we go. That looks so much better. Scribble, 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 scribble. And we can go in with an eraser and clean that up here in a bit. Awesome. And now I can take this bad boy. That's my eraser sound effect. Guys, this is so messy. I've never been good at rendering. I like get the idea onto paper and it's like, hey, do you guys see my vision? Yeah, kinda? Awesome. Goodbye. I suck at finishing projects. I just don't know where to stop, and I feel I stop very prematurely. But if I keep going, then I tend to get a little obsessive, and then I over-render, and that also looks terrible. It's hard to strike a balance. I'm sure if I, like, took some art classes or something, maybe I'd figure out why. But we just like messing around and figuring things out in this household. With the occasional Google search. It is my favorite activity. Oops. This kind of looks like one of the golden dome spires that's like sticking out of the sand. I think I might do that with that. That could be good. Why is this so messy? Ew. Oh, it's because of this. Me. There we go. No, me line art. That's okay. I need to go through and get good anyways. Alright, I want this, and I want my brush size back down to 1 so I can go back to my crazy ways of outlining. I'm gonna need an even darker green as well. Like that, I think. How does that look? Yeah. No, a little bit darker. We'll be okay. Whoops. Yeah, haha, that's the ticket. Oops. The stylus has like a little side button right here that makes I tend to accidentally squeeze it, and it'll try to copy the color that I'm hovering over, and it's really inconvenient. I'm not a huge fan. Like, if I used it as properly intended, it could be really useful, but I'm just accidentally clicking it over here. Guys, all of my layers are like such a mess. I do be drawing on the wrong layer, but like, as long as it looks not terrible, who cares? Right? Right. Whoops. Wink. locked in, guys. Okay, I want to get a bit closer for this, and I want to get on this layer, I think. I don't want to do that. I want to elect transparency. And this is supposed to be like a deep gold, so with this color scheme, I'm thinking it would probably be like a deeper red. And then like, now the gold can come through a little bit more with maybe this. Maybe I can... Let's not lock... Actually, maybe we should lock transparency for this. Never mind. That's not locked. Okay. That's fine. Very carefully. Are you guys like seeing the silhouette? It's starting to take shape, I think. I'm seeing it. And then I'll probably want to shade this with like a deeper purple maybe. Not like that. Maybe a little more on the reddish side of purple. More burgundy-ish. I don't know, color theory. I'm just making stuff up and hoping it looks good. Whoops. Yeah. And then a bit of white at the... Maybe make it look a little more like the signature star that we see in the Sky game a lot. No, not like that. That's a little lopsided. There we go. I like it. I like it a lot. We're vibing. Let's put this on the top layer. There we go. It doesn't look as good from far away, but, you know, maybe we can sharpen up the edges here to make the... There we go. Astigmatism moment. Alright. How's that look? Good. And then I want the krill to be like locking on to somebody right here in the background. It can be like a gray kid, I think. I think a gray kid would be funny to have in this painting. I'm firing my laser. Krill. And we'll lower the opacity here. Opacity. Take me down to opacity, where the colors are faded and very, very pretty. Color me in. Shiver me timbers. Okay, maybe I should just use a bigger brush instead of being insane. Alright, and then we're gonna want a more visible layer over top of this. Suddenly the layers are getting out of hand. They all popped up out of nowhere as soon as I started rendering. Alright, and then let's see, what's this? What's this layer? What's here? That is a... Okay, I can probably put the gray kid on this layer and suffer very few consequences. I say with way too much confidence. Alright, let's not screw this up. Alright, so we're gonna have like a little Sky Kid head. This is like way the wrong color for me to be doing this. Or is it just because I'm like behind this? There we go. And then just little badminton shape. Color, 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 color. And now I can get rid of this, on the top layer, this thing. since the Sky Kid is obscuring it. It was just there as a visual reference. Okay. Perfecto. Oops. Not eraser. We want this guy. And we want to do this. There we go. Even it out just a little more. Alright, size 1. Alright, that's not terrible. This looks pretty good, I think. Let's add the little cape stars. And let's add some of these. Some of these. Nice. Oh, big stretch, big stretch. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not tired, I'm just very good at yawning. Okay. Need like a very dark orange. Nope, we're staying on the page. Actually, you know what? Let's save our progress. I would hate to lose it after all this time. This is about 2 hours of work, so I would hate to lose it. Whoopsies. That is meant for this layer. There we go. Yes, 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 yes. Shading. We love I don't really actually know how to shade, so we're taking a educated guess here as to what the ground is supposed to be doing. I want this to be like a puddle of the black, brackish water that hurts you if you get too close. And then we'll just put the sand dunes in the way so it's like covering it up. Foreground, yeah. Excuse me, guys. That was crazy. And now I can use like a slightly lighter color, like this yellow, to I don't know what's happening here. It's supposed to be a bit further away, so maybe we shouldn't be illuminating it. Maybe we should be using this color. Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. And in the background, I want there to be a little rock crab also. I think that'd be fun. So we'll throw in one of these. I can turn my opacity back up. And then I'll turn my brush size down real tiny to yeah. This poor gray kid in this picture, guys, cannot catch a break. They're AFK and they are being charged by two different things. That's what happens when you go AFK in the Golden Wasteland. Krebs. Cribs. Stay on page, please. Don't go anywhere. fill this in with a little more color. That won't hurt. And the clouds can look kind of scribbly because this is a very stormy, cacophonous area. There's always a lot happening in the skies. So I can make it look pretty scribbly. I think that gets the vibe across pretty well. How do clouds? How do clouds, guys? I don't know. You think I'm doing a great job? Yay! I think we're trusting the process. The layers are starting to layer. Um yeah. We love painting. Alright, and then we're gonna want to add some like yellow into the clouds here, I think, to really bring out the golden of the wasteland. This is a bit too yellow, but it's yeah, I think that's what we're going for. Something kind of like that. It's a little, maybe a little too yellow. A bit too saturated, I think. That might be better. Yeah. And then we'll add some white and some green lining to this to really show, hey, it's clouds. I might be overdoing it a bit here, but maybe with enough definition with some white and light yellow lines and some green, maybe a bit of dark red to offset it. We can probably make this pop. And you know, if I don't do super great on the clouds, I mean, I think people who play Sky will at least know like how this color and scribbles are supposed to translate. And at the very least, I hope it looks cool for people who don't play Sky. Because I don't know how shading in clouds work. That doesn't look great, not gonna lie. Hmm. Maybe we can just... There we go. I'll definitely want to add like, yeah, there we go. This is going to make it a little more cloud-like. Ooh, maybe I can add like some lightning back here. That might look cool. Since I did kind of scribble that, and it looks like lightning very unintentionally. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Alright. Guys, what even are clouds? Like, I know what they are. This is... I'm not asking, like, scientifically for real, but, like... It's crazy that we live in a place where just, like, moisture condenses in the sky and makes puffy balls that look like stuff sometimes. Isn't that neat? Planet Earth is so cool. I mean, it's not exclusively an Earth thing. Other planets do have like clouds and storms and weather, but like, you know, Earth clouds don't kill us. Okay, this crab. Where's the crab at? Which layer did I put the crab on? Is it down here? No. 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 I lost my crab, guys. Okay, it's the... Nope. 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 It's... Okay, it's on... What a convenient layer for me to put this entire crab on. That's fine. I just need to give it some highlights to give it a little bit of definition. I'm pretty messy with it. We don't care that much. Yeah. Okay, there's still the matter of these Sky Kids that I did that I need to attend to. Let me, I might want to do these on a different layer, actually. Me. Actually, I want them to be there as, like, a guide. I can just go over them up here. Up here? Yeah, this is going to be fine. Ooh, the bathroom calls, my friends. I will put this on the BRB screen. I will be right back. In the meantime, enjoy the music. I just need to run to the restroom real quick. But, one moment, please. There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Bathroom break done. I also had to stop and put away the birds because they were still up and it is past their bedtime. It is 10 p.m. here and the birds should be going to bed by 9. So they were up a little late today. My bad. Whoopsie. Anyways, thanks for sticking through the BRB. Okay. This little guy is in danger. That doesn't look super great. I'll take that though. Maybe. Okay, that works. Maybe just a little less right here. There we go. Sure, that works. Okay, the clouds, now that I've had some time away, I definitely need some more like yellow-greeny splotches that are a bit lighter to add a little more density here. A little more dimension. I could probably achieve a much better result if I were to use a reference, but that's okay. Guys, I do not know what's happening in the clouds anymore. That like there needs to be some better blendage like right here, but mm, I'm just gonna keep adding more layers and hoping that at some point it gets fixed. A foolproof method. Proof, not proof. Okay. Excuse me. Hashtag drawing my Sky Kid from memory and hoping it's not terrible. Hoping I don't forget anything important in my design. Alright, I feel like that's fairly accurate. To my Sky Kid. There we go. Yeah. Okay, who else do I want to put in this drawing? Let me pull up my phone and pull up Sky and have a look at my friend list and see if there's anyone with a cool design that I want to put in here, because I think that'd be fun. Alright. Sky, Children of the Light, show me my constellation, please. Anybody with a cool design? Oh, I forgot. I changed my Sky Kid. I gave him the bunny mask and this season's like the mohawk haircut. I think it looks pretty snazzy, but it's not my main look. So it feels a little spooky every time I look at my screen and it's like, "Oh, there's an imposter here." Whoops. Okay. I need to get to my... I spawned into my nest, so I need to get to my friend stars and have a look at who I can draw. Draw. Some of these designs are pretty complex. I don't know if I'll be able to handle them very well here, but we can give it a shot. Ooh. Why do you guys have such complex designs? They're beautiful, but they're gonna be really hard to draw on such a small canvas. Okay. I'm gonna set this here. And there's my stylus. Okay. And back in we go. Alright, so this one's gonna be a chibi with the chibi mask color. I think this was it for... Hello? Am I coloring or... Let's try this. Oh, I see. I'm using the eraser. My goodness. Okay, now that we're back on track. Chibi mask. Little eyeball from the side. Fun little crown. And some pretty little yellow antennae. They're really hard to see, but they're there. And then we've got a dark green cape that blends in very well with the background, but it's gonna have a striking red underside. That's gonna really make it pop, I think. I'm also gonna give it an outline here so that we don't lose sight of our Sky Kid. And then they're gonna have some light green under trousers. I think this is good. With little white detailings and pants. Okay. I'm gonna make the mask a little bigger. Nope. We want red, not black. Whoopsies. Wow. My friend is being swallowed by the red in the cape. Let's fix that. Eyeball. Eyeball. Light. Necklace. We're getting real lazy with it, but you know, I think we're getting the point across. Alright, and we do a little outlining. Can we guess the Sky Kid? I feel like this one's gonna be pretty easy if you frequent my stream, because this is a friend that shows up pretty often. Sky Kid name reveal in 5, 4, 3, 2. It's Gherkin. It's Gherkin's current outfit, at least. I don't think this is their normal fit, but they are usually a chibi with some little prince stuff. I'm gonna outline them with a bit more white, just to, you know. Because Gherkin has too much power, it is emanating from them. Ha 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 ha! Behold, my friend who is chaotic. This needs like a darker outline. There we go. That's a little much. Alright, it's fine. I'm being a bit of a perfectionist here, I think. I don't think anyone will truly notice if they look at it from a distance, at the very least. Okay, yeah, I'll stop messing with it. And one more. Yeah. There we go. Alright, I feel like from a distance it's still fairly easily identifiable. If you're looking at it and you know who Gherkin is, you can go, oh crap, that's Gherkin! Alright, who else on my friends list do I think would be easy enough to draw that, you know, wouldn't wreck my skills, but is still recognizable? Hydrate. Thank you, Mav. I shall hydrate. You're still here? Isn't it late for you? I guess it's late for me too. It's 10:37 p.m., but we're in a groove. We're feeling pretty creative. Everybody's so creative. Ooh, speaking of which, Mav, you're on my friends list. Let me look at your outfit. You might make it into the drawing if I decide I might be able to draw it. Why is my friends list so large? It is difficult to find anybody. Gorge. Slay. Gorge. I love it. Okay. So we've got some... Well, first we've got to get off the eraser setting. Yet again. Alright. And we draw. We've got a mess of hair. It's long and beautiful, and it flows in the wind like a princess. We love Mav in this household. They're so awesome. They use any pronouns, so I do just kind of be using anything that happens to come to mind. I feel like I gravitate towards she, her, but I'd be saying whatever is most convenient for real. Oh, that is not the color I needed. I wanted white. Your Sky Kid kind of gives Wayfarer in the best way possible. I love it. Alright, and then there's the, These are supposed to be cat ears. I'll need to find a better way to define them because that is not it. Hold up. Let me readjust. Oh, my knees! Okay. Maybe I need to make them more distinctly triangular. Maybe outlining with a different color will also assist. Not... Okay. Maybe like a gray. Gray might work. Oops. Yeah. Alright, and we're gonna get rid of this mess right here because I am changing the position of this skid. Oops. We ain't want to do all that. Alright, we get our fairy princess hair. get our little headband thingy thing. Little circlet. And then it's a beautiful white cape that is lined in gold with black pants. Okay, I feel like we'll need some gray to outline the hair so that it doesn't all blend together. I don't like this gray. It needs to be much lighter. Like an off silver. Ah! We're pressing all the buttons tonight, guys. Okay, here we go. That's much better, yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. What a mess I have created, but it serves a purpose, I promise. Okay. And it's got like the sleeves like this with the little triangles. Nice. And then there's another one on the other side that will be partially obscured by the cape. Okay. And then you've got black booties. Oops. Blocky foot. With golden markings. It doesn't go up the sides though. It's just kind of like a V shape with a little dot at the knee and then at the foot, at the base. Kind of like that. It's a little messy, but I think it gets the point across all right. Okay, let's fill this in. It's fine, it's fine. We can recover from this. It's okay. Making art is very messy and it stresses me out, but it's fun. It's just also like, you know? You get what I'm saying? Alright, we'll get this little silver-ish color back, at least something close to it, because I messed up the hair. There we go. Bring the gold back. We're bringing it, we're bringing it, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it, we're bringing it, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it, we're bringing it, we're bringing it back. Fireball. Okay. Nobody asked for Pitbull tonight. But he's Mr. Worldwide. And then the trim is also yellow. It's a little messy, but I think it'll look okay when viewed from a distance. a little large, but like, you know, it's like an impressionistic painting. It's not meant to be accurate to size. It's, you know, I'm showcasing all the things that are like that stand out to me in Golden Wasteland. Oh, I think I know what I want to also have. Um, in the desert. No. Just one of these numbers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, add some blue in there and then fix it with white. It's a flower. Like, hit that game company game. Flower. That is one thick stem. This is a very resilient desert flower. Okay. That looks fine. That looks okay. Let's add a little bit of blue to it. Just add a bit of depth here. I don't know if this is the right... Yeah, I think this is conveying shadow pretty well. Shadow the Hedgehog? There we go. Okay, I think I'm liking this. Nice little visual reference to another fun game here. Do I want to add anything else? I'm feeling like this is getting pretty close to, you know, a piece. At least a draft of a piece that I can come back and, like, render much better later, but, like, you know, we're getting somewhere. What do we think, guys? What else does this Golden Wasteland deserve? Anything? Anything? I don't think that's coming through out. Oh, because I'm on the wrong layer. Haha. Ha 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 ha. Pardon me, friends. Sorry about that. We're getting crazy with it. We're adding splatters and spackles, and this is good. It's giving much needed, you know, it's very visually appealing, I think. This might actually work as a nice shading method. Would you look at that? It kind of does. Oh, I don't want to draw over the crab, though. Is this doing anything? It's not. Okay. Am I on the wrong layer again? I bet I am. No, I'm not. Okay. Oh, I see. I'm just, like, using the same color. I meant to grab something slightly lighter. But, you know, that's okay. That's a little too much. And I need to go and be on the correct layer for this visual effect to work. Okay. There we go. Because I want the star to look kind of burnt out. I think I could probably use black for this. Or this works, yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Yes! Texture! Yes! Most excellent. Look at that, guys. We are getting places. We are cooking with gas. This is peak art content right now. We are in a groove. I really love the spacing. We be spackling. Okay, what else? Because I know that I can just keep adding more. and I can do that for like ever. But, you know, at some point people should go to bed, because that's normal and healthy and good for you to go to bed at like a healthy time. Which, it's not super late, and I can stay up as late as I want. It's not like I've got a job to go to. But, you know, it's good to maintain a healthy sleep schedule just for sake of your own sanity half the time, it feels like. Alright. How are we looking? A little silly, but not bad. Okay. I think this has, like, enough stuff happening that, like, you know, it's enough to look at and be like, wow, that sure is sky. Children of the Light. I recognize these silhouettes a little bit. It certainly is something. I'm gonna have to take this footage and download it, and we're gonna have to make a speed paint to put on my YouTube channel, because I'm starving for long form content. Alright. I need to signature this, because if I don't, I mean, nothing will happen if I don't. I can just not signature this. That would be fine, but, like, you know, in case it ends up getting reposted anywhere, not that I can imagine someone would want to steal my art, it's not that great. But if it ends up somewhere else by chance, at least people will know where to come back to, who to look for to find more stuff like this. Okay, that's like way too small. I can't see that for crap. Let's make it a little bit more, let's make it stand out, actually. What's the harm in making your signature visible? I think we might want, like, our yellow color since it's complementary. Maybe a different yellow. And also a slightly bigger brush size would probably help. I can just transform it down when I'm done. I don't need that much spacing. I need a little bit of spacing, but not too much. Alright, and we can yoink this, shove it down here, make it a little transparent. Well, we could put it up here maybe. I don't know if I like it in this color. Lock alpha. Whoops. I'm still selecting the transform tool, my B. It blends in really nicely, I think. Yeah, that works. Alright, I think this is ready for me to post to the great wide internet. Let's, okay. Unless this would fit better in a different category. I think this is human or humanoid. It's mostly humans. Humanoid creatures. Alright. Oh, the joys of having a Bluetooth keyboard. Board. Let's see, what else should I say about this? I always worry that I'm going to over-explain, but I also feel like I'm not going to offer enough context if I don't. But, like, I just want to, like, tell people about the piece, but I also don't want to say too much, and I don't want to get, like, banned for saying, like, hey, guys, I did this on twitch.tv, come check me out. That feels, like, a little overbearing, so, you know. My Sky Kid. And my friends. Gherkin. It's Maverick. Crossing. I just stretched and I felt my back crunch, and it hurt really good. But wow, ouchie, ouch. It hurts so good. All right. Definitely trust the process. Yeah. It's 10 p.m. here. You're off to bed. All right. You have a great night. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this. I thank you so much for telling me I did an excellent job. I think I did pretty good. And I can always come back to it and tweak more later on. Nothing is ever a finished product. Everything is always a work in progress. But I hope you get some great rest. Take care. Have a good sleepy sleep. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Should I post this on my Instagram? Like, I did draw it. I do have the rights to this image, so, like, I think I won't get in trouble for posting my own art on my Instagram. I think I can do that. Alright guys, here comes the worst part of doing digital art. It's the part where you hit post, and you sit, and you wait for external validation, because simply making the art is not enough for you. You also have to, like, have people tell you, hey man, I like it, good job. And then it makes it all worth it. I mean, I think that the act of creating makes it worth it in and of itself, but who doesn't love being told, like, hey, I like it, it looks good? Yeah. Alright. Well, I think that is kind of a whole stream. And stream. Who is streaming? Who can I raid today? Iridays is online. Let's see, who else is streaming in the Sky category? I don't know if there's anyone up this late. Oh wait, Barney. Let's harass Barney today if stream will allow me to. Alright. Select. Copy. Twitch chat. /raid. Channel. Control V. Alright, I'm sending you guys elsewhere. Thank you guys so much for being here. Get some rest, if you can. If you're awake for the day, you know, have a great day. Have good time zones. Thank you all so much for joining me. I need to hit this chat. Okay. Back to my OBS. Bye, friends. Bye-bye. See you guys later. Bye-bye.